images. We can see that we're in it by typing print working directory, and we're in Turing, one module, backend mod 0, capstone, /day 0. And follow the instructions contained in the README. So let's open up let's open up Atom and then the instructions were follow the instructions contained in the README, which is right here. So let's see what this gives us. So this is some terminal practice, which you've probably had some exposure to. Command / or command \, the one above the return key, toggles the sidebar. Let's see. So we've already done some CDing and LSing, CDing up and down, making things. For a little bit of practice. All right, there's no submissions required here. So great. When you're done with this, you can go back to your terminal. You'll CD up one level, ls again, and then CD into day 1. And then you can do Atom contents of that. Let's take a look at the README, learn the basics. So open this in Atom, great. Read this introduction, follow and complete. All right, so yeah, we'll make a example1.rb. So we'll touch x1.rb. So now it's here, and it's visible here. Work through the lesson, typing the code, and then running it with Ruby x1. So let's open this up. Command T makes a new tab. So I did Command T and then Command V and pasted the URL in. Let's do a couple of these. So we'll all right, so on the README, when we open it, see how it's italicized up here? That means that this file hasn't been saved yet, or it's kind of in like a temporary open state, and if I click another file, it just goes away, and the tab changes to that. And if I go to questions, same thing. So I want to open up both of these tabs. So I'm going to open up README, and I'm just going to hit Command S. Now when I open up this tab, it opens up a separate tab. And when I hit Command S, the italicized text changes to non-italicized, and so we're good to go. Something else we can do is I'm going to split this by right-clicking. You can split to the right, and it's going to split it in half. Now I'm going to hit Command / again, so we can get more text. And then I'm going to close this tab. So now I have the instructions on one side, and the file I'm working with over here. And then, of course, the actual directions here. So type the following text into example1.rb. So we'll put hello world. So we'll do puts, and we're gonna run it. So I'm gonna hit Command S to save it. That little blue dot means that there's unsaved text. So if I do exclamation mark and then come away and come back, well, this will be an interesting point. So we'll just leave it there, and then we can do Ruby x1.rb, and it processes, and there's hello world. Cool. Now let's add, this is going to be something that'll probably, you'll all notice at various times. So see this blue dot? That means that this is an unsaved file. And if we run the file again, I hit the up arrow and hit enter, and it brings the last line back. It's missing the exclamation mark in hello world. It's still not saved. So bring it up, hit enter, and it's not there. So you can hit Command S to save this file. Now when you run it, everything comes back. There's an Atom package called Autosave that just saves the file as soon as you change focus. So we're going to hit Command, opens up the settings for any program on a Mac, and then we can do packages, Autosave, hit enter, and then so we already have this, so we'll hit settings for autosave, and we'll turn it on. So toggle this enabled button, and now when we close this, so it says, please save this. It's unsaved. When I click over here, this blue dot should go away. Yeah. So I changed the focus just to this other tab. Now it's saved. So when I run the command again, it says, please save this. And then I can say, puts does autosave work. And then so the dot is there. We're going to Alt-Tab away. Can't see if the dot is there or not. Hit enter, and autosave works. Super cool. Now we're jumping down to the very last step. Make sure you save it in the day one directory, or make sure you are in the day one directory, so we can print working directory and we can see that we're in the day one directory. When we do ls, we see our new modified files. When I run git status, it says on branch master blah 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 untracked files example1.rb, because that's that new file that we added. If I opened, if I did another file, let's see, we can do touch ex2.rb. Now we have two files in this directory, and we can do git status, and it says, hey, now we have two files. What do you want me to do with them? So let's open up example 2. So now we've got stuff in both. Shrinking the sidebar away again. So git status shows both of those. And then if we had modified one of these files, it would show as modified. So for instance, on questions, answer, I would use puts. We can do. So now when we do git status, we have new files and then this modified file. So this is close to the directions in Atom. So we'll shrink that away. So on branch master, modified, untracked, all that stuff. So great. So the command git status just shows us information about the files we changed. Like it says, don't worry too much about the details. So we're going to do git add example1.rb. So git add ex1.rb. Now when we do git status, we get some different output. We've got this changes to be committed piece, which talks about this new file, and then changes not staged for commit, and then untracked files. So Git is, we're getting closer to like staging stuff on Git. Git, by the way, super confusing the first time through, so don't worry too much, just try to get some reps with it. Now let's add the other one, so git add x2.rb. So now we can do git status, and we have two changes to be committed, and then some changes not staged for commits. Now we'll do git add questions.md, and you can hit use tab complete with git status, or git add as well. So now we can do git status, and we have all of these files listed. Same thing with adding directories, blah, blah, blah. So now we're going to commit it. So we're here. So enter git status. You should see all your files listed under changes to be committed. So we'll make a, so we're added. So you can do git status shows that that's what's to be committed. You could do git, if you're just curious of like what the actual changes are, you do git diff, and it's going to not give you anything. But you can do git diff, since this is all staged, you can do git diff staged. And now it gives you all of that cool text. You can hit Q to get out of that. So git status. So now we're going to commit those changes. So we're going to do git commit, and you're going to give it a message. So the -m, lowercase, means message. And then we're going to say the commit message was add day 1. And there it goes. So it shows files changed, insertions, create mode, blah, blah, blah. And then when we do git status, nothing, like Git has updated itself, and now it's like, great, we have no changes to commit. So awesome, you've now made your first commit, or this might have been your first commit. If you want to see it have happened, you can do git log and then hit enter. And you're going to see a bunch of stuff here. So the newest commit is on the very top, and then older stuff goes down. So this newest commit, you can see author Josh Thompson, add day 1. And then down here, yours might look a little bit different if the repository has been updated since between when I make this video and when you see it. But you'll probably see names of other folks like David Whitaker. He has made a commit that was changing link to setup instructions, or fixing typos, or updating day 7 directions. So it's pretty cool. All right, but we now need to commit it or push it up to GitHub. So we've got all of this. Oh, and you hit Q to get out of that thing. So when you're in git log, you can scroll down with the J key, scroll up with the K key, or hit Q to get out of it. So we're gonna push this. So git push origin master. What do any of those words mean? Git means it's the program that we're using on our laptop. So that means the rest of those commands are just going into the git program instead of like the cd program or the cat something to your directory, or yeah, cat a file program. So git, and then push means push this code somewhere. We're gonna take this and we're gonna go and push it. And then origin master, what the heck do those mean? So origin is like a handle that means a URL. If you want to see what origin means, you can do git remote, remote, and all it says is origin. Super exciting, right? You can do git remote -v, and now it prints out the URL. So when we say origin, it hears this. And I'll give an example of exactly what this means later. And then the master just means the current branch that we're on. So if you do git status, and it says on branch master. So we'll do git push origin master. Git push origin master. And it's working and thinking, and it went up. So it pushed to, if it didn't work, you would have gotten some sort of error message. But it says resolving deltas. I don't even know what that means. I mean, obviously delta is a change, but, or not obviously, but delta means changes. But so it went to GitHub, JoshWorks, backend module, capstone.git. So sure enough, let's make this text a little bit longer. You should now be able to log into GitHub, navigate to your repository, and see the work you did. So let's try that. We're here, so this is my version. I'm gonna hit Command R to reload the page, and let's see what we got. Interesting. So last commit 3 minutes ago, and it says last commit was 3 minutes ago here. So if I click day 1, here's my files, ex1.rb. Cool. All right. Quick note on like git push origin master feels like such a crazy magical command, so we're gonna dissect this a little bit. So let's open up Google Chrome, grab the URL from here again. So clone or download, we're gonna grab this SSH URL. So this is optional, this is just to help explain things. Watch it if you want. If it doesn't make perfect sense, it'll make sense later. So you can do git remote -v, right? So now we're gonna do git remote add smelly socks, and then we're going to give it the URL. Now we're going to do git remote -v, and now we have this origin and smelly socks, and they're both the same URLs, but now we've got smelly socks. So let's change a file and add them. So we're going to do x2, save that. So now we can do git status, and we've got this changed file, so we're going to do git add x2.rb. So now we can do git status again, and it shows that. If you want to see exactly the change, we can do git status, git diff -- staged, and there's that line, I'm going to push this to smelly socks. Git commit -m smelly socks. So now, instead of git push, we could do git push origin master, but we can also do git push smelly socks master. When I do that, so let's see what happened here. So we're going to reload this. Day 1, smelly socks. We're going to look at day 1, and here's the file that we changed 28 seconds ago, example 2, and sure enough, I'm going to push this to smelly socks. So when you do git remote -v, smelly socks or origin are just placeholders for the URL that it's going to. Those obviously you wouldn't use a bunch of different names for the same URL, but if there's reasons where you might have like an origin or an upstream or origin or something else. So that's all that the origin piece means. If you did this, you can now remove smelly socks with git remote rm stands for remove smelly socks. I think that'll work. So now git remote -v shows just the origin. Yeah. Okay. The master piece we're not going to dig into, but just know that that's the name of the current branch, and you can make any number of branches and push different branches up, but we'll worry about that later. Hopefully now git push origin master is one word, or maybe two words, less mysterious than it was earlier. Okay, that's it. Have a great time with all of this work. You're going to learn a lot.